Tricia McLaughlin. Tricia is the Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs at the Department of Homeland Security. Tricia, thanks for being with us tonight here on the Hill. Always nice to see you.
Blake, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So there's a couple stories out there, but I want to start with this $1,000 offer for illegal immigrants to self-deport. You know the numbers, but I want to show them for our audience, which is deportations in the second administration are on pace for about 2 million. That's run behind some recent presidents, Clinton, Bush, Obama. I know that DHS has made the case today that it would cost $17,000 to do this. This is a fraction at 1,000. Is it the cost? Is it the pace of deportations? Is it something else? Why are you guys deciding to move in this direction?
Blake, there's 15 to 20 million illegal immigrants who are in this country that we know of, over 700,000 of which are criminal aliens. So we need to get these people out of our country, and we need to do so in a safe way, and we also need to do so in a cost-effective way. As you just mentioned, it's a 70% savings for U.S. taxpayers, and it's also safer for our law enforcement and those migrants themselves. So we do encourage every illegal alien here. The choice is very clear. Self-deport now using the CBP Home app will pay for your flight and give you a $1,000 stipend. Or if you decide to stay here, we will find you, we will arrest you, and you will be deported and you will never be allowed to return. So I think the choice is really crystal clear, Blake.
How'd you land on this, though? How'd you land on this idea?
This is a easy way to get people to leave this country, to incentivize good behavior, which is to get out and leave now and potentially be able to come back the right legal way and potentially come back to live the American dream.
Here's what Ruben Gallego, who's a Senator Democrat in Arizona, said. He said, why don't we make them pay a $5,000 fine, go through a background check and give them a work visa for a few years, renewable with good behavior. That was the senator today. What would you say?
Well, Ruben Gallego is exactly right, because the alternative to self-deportation is that you are going to be fined, you will be arrested, you will be imprisoned, and you will never be allowed to return. So I'm glad Ruben Gallego must have been reading some of our posts out there, because we will find those who are in this country illegally.
Tricia, no one has covered the border and the cartels like NewsNation. You just saw Ali Bradley down there on the border once again. Our Libby Dean was aboard Air Force One. She was the one who asked President Trump last night about the cartels. And the Mexican president responded to all of this by revealing some of the phone call that she had with President Trump on this idea of sending U.S. troops into Mexico to help them fight the cartels. She said, no, President Trump, the territory is sacrosanct, sovereignty is sacrosanct. She went on to say, we can share information, but we never accept the presence of the U.S. Army in our territory. Does the White House believe, does the administration believe, rather, okay, that's it? It's not happening? Or do you think there's possibly a chance there in future conversations with her?
Well, Blake, this is President Donald J. Trump. It's part of the deal. I don't think anything is off the table, but I can tell you this much. As Ali Bradley, your fantastic reporter, has probably seen herself, when we were just down at the border in El Paso with Secretary Noem, all we saw was dust and beautiful America. There was not a single migrant crossing. Border crossings are down 95%. President Trump and Secretary Noem in the last 100 days have truly achieved the most secure border in American history, and we're going to keep it that way.
What would it look like, Tricia, this concept of U.S. troops in Mexico to take on the cartels? How would that even work? What would it look like?
I'm not going to get ahead of the president. I'm not going to get ahead of the Pentagon or Secretary Noem, but I think we are keeping everything on the table. We know that cartels are increasingly desperate, especially because those border crossing numbers are so low. Our Border Patrol agents have more resources than ever to not just be at those processing centers, but be out in the field, intercepting those drug cartels, intercepting those human traffickers, those sex traffickers, and making sure they don't get in the interior of our country.
Tricia McLaughlin is with the Department of Homeland Security. Thanks for being with us tonight here on the Hill, Tricia. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Blake.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.